Attention, folks. We got some guests here today, and I don't know how much time the VP has, but we want to be ready to let her take the show. Coach Simmons is coming by, say a few words. Um, but I want to welcome back Joe Kershaw, sitting over there. Hold your hand up, Joe. They ain't seen you in so long, they don't remember you. Yeah. The Kershaw name is famous in FAMU's history. First black legislator in Florida, I believe. Joe Kershaw. He was the first, right? Oh, I knew that, Joe. I just wanted to see if you were on your toes. Leela, introduce one of our special guests, National Alumni.
Hello, Rattlers. As usual, this time of year, the legislature is deciding on how many billions of dollars to give FAMU along with the other universities. And today we are privileged to have, and FAMU is also hosting the Board of Governors meeting on campus. And we have with us today our FAMU National Alumni Association Governmental Relations Chairperson. And all of you have been attending over the years. Probably we've been having FAMU Day at the Capitol probably about 20 years. And Carolyn Collins has been chair all these years, but she has retired. And so now she's turned the reins over to one of our young leaders, Miss Sykes Dukes, who is from Atlanta. And after you, don't ask her too many questions afterwards, because she's been here for 2 days and she has to drive back home to Atlanta. Miss Sykes Dukes, welcome to the 220.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the invitation from Dr. Walker. My first opportunity to be here before you. But again, my name is Isis Dukes. I am the Government Relations Chair for the National Alumni Association. And in that, okay, all right. And in that role, I advocate on behalf of the university. We all do it in our own way somehow, but we do it in a formal structure with the Government Relations Committee. As Dr. Walker touched on April 13th, we will be having FAMU Day at the Capitol. This is going to be an opportunity where we're going to not just highlight the successes of the university, but we're also going to advocate for those millions of dollars that she stated earlier. You did, didn't you? Billions. But we need the billions, right? So on that day, we're going to have a full day of breakfast. We're going to meet with our legislators. We're going to have the band there. We're going to have guests. We're going to have guest speakers. So it's going to be a day of fanfare. I'm going to invite everyone to be there because we need all of you. We need everyone's support here. We need alumni. We need students. Matter of fact, I'm just leaving from the Board of Governors. But before then, I stopped to talk to the crowd of students that were out there protesting. My son is a freshman here at FAMU. He's on the baseball team. He's a red shirt. So you will see him tonight. We're going to need alumni. We're going to need students. We're going to need everyone who has a vested interest in the university's success to be there. Dr. Walker has registrations. Please register so we'll know that you're coming and that you're accounted for, and we have a place for you. Thank you. Okay. Just to give you a little bit about myself, I began my journey here on at the Hill in 1994, SBI student, business administration. I began that legacy, and I call it a legacy because, as I just shared with you, my son is now a Rattler, and we're going to continue this legacy going. So his children are going to be here in Tallahassee. There's no other option because we want them to have the best education, right? You got to come to the best school.
Leo is going to pass these registration forms out. For those of you who know that you'll be going to the affair. Thank you. I'm always happy to have one of our national officers here. Please, Ms. Sykes, please tell your son that I also played baseball. And if he ever wants any advice, I'll be glad to give it to him. Where's Markel? Markel, any idea how far she's away? Okay. We're gonna play it by ear. Coach, do you want to talk until she comes, or how you want to handle it? What's that? Okay. We're going to present her today with a $2,500 check for Student Athlete Day. Al, have you guys got the totals already? Okay, I have a $1,000 check in my wallet. I have them there all the time. So we're gonna add that to the list. We get a total so that when she comes, we'll be able to do that. I got to tell you guys, I appreciate the way you came together and supported the Student Athlete Day. I wasn't too high on it, I kind of have to admit, although I like to recognize our student athletes in any way we can. But you came through so quickly right after the $15,000 campaign for the Cooling Center. And we also have here a contributor to the Cooling Center, and I forgot her name already. That's because I'm 60 years old. Could you introduce yourself, please? I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. Uh-oh, yeah. You've been coming every week? Okay. Okay. Thank you for your contribution. I saw the name, and my vision is not working well today, so that happens from time to time. Jerry, this is Jerry's fault. Jerry, where is she? A couple of things that I'm going to kick this off with Vaughn. He has two exciting videos. Both of them have gone viral. How many of you have seen the FAMU cheerleader whose video went viral? Now, see, more of you people got to learn how to use the internet. A FAMU cheerleader was mic'd up during the game and was kind of giving the officials a piece of her mind, and it went viral. And they've ESPN, Vaughn, who else? And then we have a young lady on our softball team who was heard singing, and it sounded so good. Now she may get a record deal or something. But she's on ESPN too, right? I just got a great idea, Vaughn. Why don't I turn this over to you?
I'll talk real quick. The two videos I want to show, because Mr. Jackson said he knows how to go on social media, but everybody else in here didn't know how to go on social media. So the two videos, quick videos, our Director of Communications and Digital Content, Josh Padilla, mic'd up first the cheerleader, Naila Clarrington, during basketball season. And we'll see that video, and we'll also see softball player Michaela Irvis. He mic'd her up, and she was singing. Both of these videos have gone what you call viral. They say viral, but when ESPN's main site posts your video, that's when you're really viral. And both of these have been posted there. The softball players actually was posted on ESPN and ESPNW, which is for women as well, saying they need to get her a record deal. The artist of one of the songs she was singing has responded. Music Soul Child, if you know that name, and he gave a very positive response. So I'm just going to play the video so you can see him. I don't know which, I think the cheerleaders first, but can we hit that light?
Let's go! They always score when we do that cheer, you know? On his head. Oh! He's not a shooter! He's not a shooter either! You need to leave! For the fans to the stands. For the teams to the conference, they can get it. 2 points! 2 points! 3 points! 2 points! Thank you. Thank you. I think EJ is getting upset. EJ gotta go!
That's great.
Yeah. Ref, you don't gotta take that, ref. You don't gotta take that, ref. You don't gotta take that. If I was you, I wouldn't let him talk to me like that. That was real aggressive. He need to try. He need to take. Walk. Yeah, that's how you do that. 33 ain't made a shot all game. Yeah, y'all figure that out. Yeah. Messiah! Think about the game, coach. Getting a little bit old for this. Yeah. Call a timeout, coach. Messiah! I got a penny. It was on heads too. It's my lucky day. What is a penny doing out here though, for real? Oh my God. Honey, it was them 1.5 squash yesterday, coach was had her doing in there. He was getting his butt right. Hey, hello somebody. Love. So many things I've got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. But there's a possibility that you look at me differently, love. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just ready right now. But that's that funk right there. That's when you really know you in love for real. You say that thing right there. Ooh. He said, Rattler Jacks, are you ready? Ready. Begin. A, C, T, L, E, O, S. Hey. Woo! Crackle pop. All 3. 1, 2, 3. Crackle pop. Crackle.
How y'all body feel?
A little bit, coach. That's how that body feeling. Ain't nobody say no doggone. Go. What's wrong with you?
I'm trying to figure out what
Crackle.
You sound like that dude off
Crackle pop.
Rush Hour, the black dude.
You do what, Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
Come on, Lee. Yeah,
There we go.
and I like it. Ooh, and I like it. You look the way you do your hair. Stylish clothes you wear.
It's just the little things you do.
Huh?
Show how much you really care. When I'm all alone with you.
Hey.
Know exactly what to do.
Where you at, Mia? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Can we get a 444? Can we get a Wendy's baby boy? Oh, I got to run that thing. Stop right there. 444 in the middle, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Full time, baby.
Oh, baby. Tell Wendy's to sponsor you.
All right. Now, Mr. Jackson swore y'all couldn't go online and see it yourself, so we just presented that. By the way, I just want to say this about Michaela Irvis. She is top 10 in the nation in triples. Yeah, so softball's doing really well under Coach Patterson.
You know, the Rattlers are really something special. I don't know how many of you know that the University of Vanderbilt Medical School just admitted a FAMU graduate who finished summa cum laude to its neurosurgery program. And I hope I got that right. But she's one of only 33 Black students in the country who've been in a program like this at Vanderbilt, and very few around the whole country. And that's right on the heels of a young lady who earned a PhD in nuclear physics from MIT, who finished FAMU's physics department. There are great Rattlers everywhere. I don't know if we're highlighting these people strong enough. I'm glad we're on YouTube, but I hope I got all that information right. But that's all right. Everybody watching on YouTube, remember to watch next week for corrections. I'm going to get that straight. I had a lot of great things I wanted to say, but I've forgotten all of them. I know that Tiffany is on her way. Coach, if you don't, huh? I was so busy listening to the teenage softball and see her come in. Tiffany, at my age, we don't hear or see well. Yeah. But I want to thank Tiffany for agreeing to come. You know, she was just here a couple of weeks ago, and she got a very, very busy day. But when I saw what she had done recently in regards to a new hire, I think it would be good to introduce her to you guys, and also him to you guys. And Tiffany, we're going to present you today with a $2,500 check for your student athlete program. Coach Simmons said that that could go for football too, but we are glad to do that. Very happy to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, the director, vice president of athletics at Florida A&M University, Tiffani Sykes.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Jackson, you make me feel good because at 5'11", 270 pounds, I haven't snuck into a room in a long time. So I appreciate that you didn't see me creeping in here. But thanks again to everyone for being here today. I always look forward to the times that my schedule allows me to come here and fellowship with you all. I do want to talk about the softball video for a second. You know, Josh Padilla does a great job so I came up through sports information, right? So those are the people who do the stats, write the stories. This predates like this graphic design and social media content. And it is very hard to find someone who does well in all of those things. And Josh is an excellent writer. He's an excellent statistician. He is excellent at creating content. I'm telling you, Josh is a unicorn. And I'm so grateful to have walked into a space to have someone like Josh to put out that type of content that Siri told me I need to be online. But I'm just super appreciative of Josh. But I just wanted to put that in the perspective for you all that we really have a gem in Josh. But also when I look at videos like that, I think about, and because this is one of the things the softball team talked about when they were going through the process to hire a new coach. And when I had the opportunity to go and meet with them at the softball field, is how much culture is important to them. And when I look at softball and see things like that, I see that they celebrate their culture and that they're a keeper of the culture within that space, because less than 5% of college athletes that play softball are Black. Less than 5% nationally are Black. So for us to be in a position to keep that culture, celebrate that culture, and provide opportunities and access to higher education in that particular sport is just something that should be celebrated and protected and supported. So I just wanted to say that before this group. I am here. Is this my check? So I made a call to Mr. Jackson begging, because I know you all had just wrapped up another campaign for the cooling center, and you all made a lot of sacrifices to do that. But one of the things I committed to our student athletes was trying to provide opportunities that are provided at other institutions. Because just like Coach Simmons comes to me and says, why can't we do this? They do it across the street. They do it. That's what all the coaches tell me. They say, why can't we do this? We do it at other schools. We hear the same thing from student athletes. So I've made it a priority to every time I have the opportunity to provide the same programming, the same activity, and the same opportunity that people are doing nationally, that I want to do that at Florida A&M University. So I think one of the first things we did was National Girl and Women in Sport Day that we did at FAMU DRS. April 6th is National Student Athlete Day. It is a day that has been celebrated for years to recognize the achievements of college and high school athletes. And you all know our student athletes have a very rigorous schedule. They're putting in 20 hours a week in activities, lifting weights, watching film, practicing. They're going to class. Some of them are working. They're doing a number of things. And I decided to carve out 2 hours in one of these days that's nationally recognized to really celebrate, appreciate, and love on them. So I asked all of the groups. I called Mr. Jackson from 220 Club. I called Mr. Cobb from the Boosters Group. And I called Coop Taylor from the National F Club. And I said, I want to split it 4 ways. So if I could get each group to give me $2,500 and not put in $2,500 from the athletics director fund, because the budget's about $10,000, to really provide an opportunity. We're going to have the student athletes. We're going to have lounge seating. We're going to have games. We're going to have Chick-fil-A. We're going to have snow cones. Just some time to give them to decompress and take a break from their everyday, day-to-day student athlete obligations. So I certainly appreciate you all making this additional sacrifice and last-minute request to give me an opportunity, and my staff and coaches and even the student athletes to love on each other. So thank you very much for that. I have another announcement. So some of you have expressed that you've had a really good experience working with Rashida McKay, Cookie, in the ticket office, taking care of your needs for your season ticket packages and investing in ticket packages. So she gave me a list of everyone who did not buy their package. So Markel, bring me the list so I can read everybody's name. I'm just kidding. So, no, what I will tell you about Cookie, her last day in the ticket office is March 31st. Okay. So as you know, anytime there's a changeover in any position, there tends to be a loss of history, knowledge, etc. So if you are on this list that Markel is about to bring to me, as someone who has not purchased their season ticket package or season ticket, I am encouraging you to get by the ticket office today or tomorrow while she still works in the ticket office. She's such an excellent employee. She was recruited by another division on campus for a higher level position. So that's why we're losing her in the ticket office. But again, I cannot say enough. If you have not done so, please get by there today so that she can assist you. What else y'all want to hear me talk about today?
That's the loaded question.
Oh, the new. New hire now? You want to talk about the new hire now?
Yeah, oh yeah, you introduced me to that.
You know, I have never been in here without Dr. Walker fussing at me as soon as I get to the podium, and I don't even know how to act. But you look so beautiful in all your orange yesterday, orange from head to toe. You look good. So I'm excited to announce that I recruited Mr. Breon Higgins to join our team as the Senior Associate Athletic Director for External Relations. I've never worked with Breon, but I've known Breon for a long time, and I've had the opportunity to see his work firsthand. He comes to us from the CIAA, so the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association. You know, my favorite thing to say about the CIAA is the oldest collegiate athletic association. It was founded in 1912 as the Colored Intercollegiate Athletic Association. So that's where all of our athletic conference foundation comes from. But he was the Associate Commissioner of Championships and Brand Management. Okay, so this is really an outside of the box hire because he's not coming from an institution. He's coming from a conference office with high level experience and brand management and championships. The reason championships is important to me is because I want to make sure my student athletes have a championship level experience every time they compete at Florida A&M University. I want it to look like they're competing in a championship. I want it to feel like they're competing in a championship. And because he works in championships, he knows what that looks and feels like and what it takes to get it done. The other thing is we know that since we've been in the SWAC, we've hosted the SWAC cross-country championships. And I want us to be in a position to advocate to host more SWAC championships in Tallahassee and on our campus so that we can continue to give our student athletes home court, home field advantage, and also for postseason opportunities with the NCAA. So having someone who's had both feet firmly planted in championships, I think helps us get there. Also, brand management. There is not a bigger brand in HBCU sports than Florida A&M University Athletics. I do think we have not capitalized on that brand in the way that we need to. So I'm gonna tell you, Breon came on his interview and was taking notes. And we took a walk on the football field this week, and he said, why haven't we sold this space? Why haven't we sold this space? Why don't we have sponsors on this space? After his interview and this week, just pointing out even spots along the fence that we could sell signage, the side of the field house, how we could put one-sided branding on that or sponsorships on that. He's like, you all have a ton of inventory that has not been sold. So that is the fresh lens and perspective and ideas that I need in that position and why I recruited Breon here. The other thing he's going to be responsible for is really creating synergy between, like I told you, Josh Padilla, who I spoke very highly of, Peak Sports, and Rhea Floyd, who's in marketing, because I need all of those things running on all cylinders for us to really take this thing to the next level. Okay. We're in this contract with Peak Sports through 2026. I told Breon we need to put our foot on their necks for what they're going out there and getting for us and holding them accountable for it. And that's my expectation of Breon, to help driving in more revenue so that we can continue to do the things we need to do to put our coaches and student athletes in a position to be successful. So Breon, are you ready? Let's do it. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, Breon Higgins, FAMU Senior Associate AD for External Relations.
Good afternoon. Well, as AD Sykes said, my name is Breon Higgins. I'm a native of Charlotte. So been in Charlotte majority of my life, except for attending school at Winston-Salem State and getting my job up at the conference office, which was in Hampton, Virginia. So coming down to Florida, it's a new environment for me, very hot environment for me. And but it has been a welcoming environment. So I do appreciate that. Everybody has been real accepting of the new face, and I appreciate that. So
He's happy to take questions.
yes, and I was told that there were many questions, so I'll be happy to answer some and give you all a little bit more insight, I guess, as to what my role entails. Yes, ma'am.
What does external affairs become?
So, as AD previously stated, I will be the liaison between FAMU athletics and the third party, which is Peak Sports. Peak Sports goes out and seeks sponsorships. which from what I can tell in my week and a half have been very undervalued sponsorships. So in meeting with the young man today, I do think we're on the same page as far as what FAMU's value should look like. You know, we're in a renewal time right now. A lot of contracts are up, spring 23, spring 24. So I do think there will be a challenge in the renewal process. I think to bring on new sponsors, it shouldn't be a problem, but to show a sponsor that they had a package at $7,500, but when he and I look at and reassess the value that should be $65,000, it's going to be hard to retain some of these sponsors. But nonetheless, we will acquire new deals. We will make sure the brand is represented appropriately and make sure these venues look like athletic venues on the inside and outside. So.
Working with external support organizations like the Alumni Association, the Foundation, Raphael Club. So that's what I was thinking about.
No, that's mostly AD Sykes, but I will assist her where needed. Yes. There was somebody else with it. Yes, sir.
I have a question really you speak about the student athletes, but at FAMU now, the student athletes, when it comes to scheduling or receiving their schedules, they're the last ones, or they gotta go with the crowd. Is there any way you could work out something so that the student athletes, especially football, can come in early and pick up their schedules so it won't interfere with them much? Now, back in my day, we got our schedule early.
And they continue to do that. So our student athletes have access to priority registration. So that's already happening. Now, whether they show up for priority registration is on them, but there is a priority registration period for our student athletes. Yep. I'm happy to answer it for you. Yes, sir. Is it for me or for Breon? I'll stand up here with him because I don't know. He handed me that mic real fast, but here we go.
Sort of.
Yeah. So
I recently saw a podcast where I'll say president of HBCU League Pass indicated he had pursued a deal with Gaucher in particular that was equal to our athletic budget, and for some reason it didn't happen. So my question is, are you aware of that podcast, and would you pursue it, look into that, because it seems there was that.
So, as my understanding, that there is still an active lawsuit against the conference office from HBCU League Pass. So, as of right now, there's nothing we can do with HBCU League Pass because there is an active lawsuit with them in our conference. It is. They were grandfathered in because they were prior to, I think, the new media rights negotiation. Is my understanding. Vaughn, do you know any more about that?
It's real loud. It's very, very loud. It'll be decided in court. There'll be a lot of he says, she says from both sides, but the court will have to decide. It's very great. Very great.
But once it's decided in court, and there's an opportunity to pursue it,
Go get that money.
we're gonna go get the money.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm about to say 2026. I know that's what I said. That same face you had, that's like what I said. All right. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
So the spring game, is it at 2:00 on April 15th? Is it 2:00? And the tickets will be $15. So the ticket office is setting up to accommodate for that. We're trying to decide on what side of the stadium we're going to open, because as you know, they're doing a repavement of the parking lot. So the east side is the closest available area to, oh, do I need to stand over here? The east stands are the closest available area to the parking that's available. But I think we have some hazards there that we really need to address before allowing spectators there. So if we do open the east side, I'll probably try to close off the boxes. But if I can't get the boxes closed off, then we will probably just have everyone seated on the west side. But I got to keep y'all safe. A portion of the parking lot will be open. So they've already come and started turning over the parking lot for the repavement. Yes, sir. Yeah, the plan is for us to generate paper tickets. We haven't decided on the cost to produce them. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned earlier about paying for the packages, the season package. I'm still waiting for the office to call me. I went up, called Monday, went up last week. I called Monday, nobody's called me back. Jason said he was gonna call me Monday afternoon. It's Wednesday, I still haven't heard from anybody about the package.
So you went to the ticket office. Okay. Okay. So I'll mention it to Jason when we, Markel, make sure I stop by the ticket office after I stop by the foundation and connect with Jason. I'll do that. I'll tell you, the bowling team this past weekend competed in the SWAC championship. Really excited about them. They finished the regular season in 5th place. They got the number 5 seed in the tournament, upset the number 4 seed in the first round, upset the number 1 seed in the second round, and wound up finishing 3rd overall. So yeah, that deserves an applause. The DFW alumni chapter hosted them for just about every meal from the time that they arrived up until the next to last day. And then one of our alumni, Cheryl Smith, provided meals the last day that they were there. So very grateful that we were able to go there and minimize our expenses because of all the support. People came to rally around them and had their highest finishes. We've been in the SWAC to send Coach Karen Brown and her husband, who have announced their retirement, off with a bang. So everyone on my executive staff serves as a sport administrator. So what the sport administrators are tasked with doing is really supporting the coaches in their day-to-day needs. And so Breon, one of Breon's sports is bowling. And so he will lead the search committee to identify a new bowling coach. Tennis is looking really good. Y'all are just nodding your head. I'm just gonna keep talking till y'all tell me to stop. Tennis is doing really good. If they win this weekend, they will at minimum be co-champs. If they win another match, they will be the regular season champions. So really excited about our tennis team, who is currently undefeated in SWAC play. What else y'all got? Y'all got more questions for me? More questions? Yes, sir. Oh, that's a good question. I have no idea. His question was, what's the timeline between when you purchase the season ticket and when it's posted in the account? And I don't know. I'd like to know that. So Markel, make sure that I ask them that. Because again, the ticket office does not report to athletics. The ticket office reports to University Business and Finance. I really don't know all of the intricate details of how those things work. The packages. Okay, so some people can see it. Some people can see what they paid, and some people can't see anything. You can see what you paid, but you can't see what package is applied. Okay, I don't even know what platform that is. So Markel, make sure I meet with the ticket office and get a better understanding of that, because I don't know. Yes, sir. We have not reinstated men's tennis. We do still have men's golf. We have we have a member of the foundation board who has connected me with Ping, who is a supporter of golf, who wants to make a gift. Part of it will be monetary, part of it would be in-kind gifts, but they want to make a gift in the amount of $1 million for golf. So excited to see what that looks like, and depending on what the monetary agreement is, I would like to explore women's golf being added to the menu of sports that we provide at Florida A&M University. So there is certainly, from me, an appetite. It's been shared with senior leadership at adding women's golf initially, and then we'll continue to assess what sports we can have. Because I mean, right now, Florida A&M has 70% of our undergraduate population are women, about 30% are men. And it's almost completely opposite when we look at athletic opportunities. So we need to make sure that we continue to explore, one, is there a desire from our women on campus to add sports? If not, we're fine, right? If we got suit, we'd be fine if there was no appetite. If there is an appetite, we have an obligation to show that we are actively looking to add sports to make sure that those opportunities for women are equivalent to the proportionality of undergraduate enrollment. I'm not just saying that because I'm a woman as the AD. Any AD should be able to say that to you. That's a Office of Civil Rights regulation. Yes, ma'am. What else? That's it. Oh, he's clapping me off the stage. Okay. It's like the Apollo. I'm getting clapped off. But thank you.
Tiffany, I have here in checks and cash, so you're gonna have to do some more counting. We had to hustle to get this $2,500. I had to use every skill I have. Anyway, on behalf of these good people, I'm happy to present $2,500 for your Student Athletes Day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'll turn it this way so they can't. And again, that's April 6th from 11 to 1. I can't feed y'all, but if y'all want to come and say hi to the athletes, we will be out there for you all to fellowship with us.
We're going to try and get the women's tennis team here next week.
Okay.
And we have $500 for them.
Okay.
They don't know it yet, but $500 for them. Yeah.
Oh, y'all want me to tell y'all a secret? Yes.
Put it on the microphone.
Y'all will be the first group to hear this. Because y'all always ask me to give y'all secrets, and I can't give y'all secrets. So I got a secret I can throw y'all today. Put your phone down. You recording me? No, I know we already on YouTube. I already know we on YouTube. I know. I know. So I'm just teasing. So, like Breon said, he's been here about a week and a half, and I gave him a project to do immediately. So what I had him do is, and y'all, when I tell you what I did, don't start asking me about other stuff. Let me get this one across the finish line before y'all have recommendations on what needs to happen next. Please, can everybody say aye? So the first project that I gave Breon, which is really outside of his scope of responsibility, is to collect information on Coach Wiggins and get letters of support to name the softball field after her. So I guess I have to call her and tell her when I leave here. But he has put together a really nice package because the naming of any facility has to be approved by the Board of Trustees. So it was really a rush for him to get these things together. He had to reach out to people he didn't know and ask for letters of support so that it can be presented for the April board meeting, and hoping to get that approved. So you heard it here first. We are submitting an application for Coach Wiggins to have the softball field named on her behalf.
Tiffany, these good people bought the first pitching machine for the softball team. I think that was our first major fundraising deal. Yeah. Tiffany, I want you to, I want to mention one more thing. One of the reasons we were able to do that so fast, the 2,500, is because Dr. Bob Carroll sent $1,000 like he normally does when I call him. Almost, he never fails. I don't know if you got a chance to talk to him.
I did. I called him right after you told me.
Oh, okay, okay. Every time I've called him, he sent $1,000.
Oh, I'll call him when I leave.
You know, one of the things I like about Coach Simmons is that I noticed when some of our, especially some of our other teams, Tiffany, win a championship, sometimes the first person to greet them when they come back to campus is Coach Simmons. And I don't mean football, I mean the other sports. So I know he's 100% behind that, what you're doing. And I know y'all find it hard for me to be brief, but I'm going to be brief. I do want to say congratulations to the bowling team. I've only mailed one perfect bowling game in all my years of playing. Okay, I guess I'll sit down now. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Florida A&M University football team, Coach Willie Simmons.
Well, thank you so much, Eddie. Thank you, Tiffani Sykes, for honoring our student athletes. I know they'll enjoy it. Last time I was a part of a student athlete day in my previous institution, I about pulled my quad off my bone trying to go out there and sprint with those young people. So I won't be doing that this year, Tiffani Sykes. So don't worry about Coach Simmons. I'll be sitting down and eating snow cones. But obviously, you know, we are right at the halfway point of spring practice. Practice 7 was yesterday. Practice 8 will be tomorrow. So about midway through tomorrow's practice will be the exact halfway point. And we'll have our second scrimmage coming up this coming Saturday, and we're excited about that. So we had our first scrimmage this past Saturday, ran about 90 plays, and you know, some good things on both sides. So, you know, a lot of explosive plays, ran the ball a lot better than we did last year, so that's encouraging. Defensively, had a few guys out, whether it was through injury or through extenuating circumstances. One of our young men had to go to a funeral, unfortunately. And then a couple of our guys actually had their probate on Saturday, so we were without them as well. So the secondary was a little bit undermanned. So some of those big plays was the result of some of our starters not being there, and not a result of us being bad on defense. So we'll be just fine with those guys returning. But really encouraged by what we see so far, and just got to keep getting better, right? We're focusing on the little things. Offensively, the biggest thing we got to improve upon from the first scrimmage to the second one, obviously, is ball security. We had too many balls on the ground, whether it was quarterback center exchange. I think we had 2 fumbles. And so we got to do a better job of protecting the ball. And then got to protect the quarterback a lot better, which was a good thing for our defense. We probably had about 8 sacks in the game in ordinary scrimmage. And so we got to do a better job of obviously protecting the quarterback. But defensively, just got to tackle in space. And did some good things, but gave up some big plays because of some missed tackles. And so, again, just got to, you know, rally to the ball a little bit better and get the ball carried to the ground. But we're extremely talented. We're really, really fast. And so, again, really looking forward to seeing what this team can continue to accomplish. So, again, we'll be in our second scrimmage on Saturday, one more week after that. And then, obviously, April 15th will be the spring game, which – Tiffani Sykes just told you now is a $15 cover charge. So, but looking forward to seeing everyone there, and we'll be getting more information out about the guest head coaches here by next week. When I come next week, we'll have that lined up so we can go ahead and do that drawing. So last year I think we drew a raffle, so we'll do something similar. So, but that's pro day is tomorrow. And so we anticipate all 32 NFL teams being on campus tomorrow. As Isaiah Land, Xavier Smith, and Christopher Duell, and Jose Romo Martinez, and all of the AJ Davis, all of our seniors from this past year will be working out tomorrow for the scouts. And Isaiah Land, I just got off the phone with an individual from the NFL Network. Isaiah Land they'll do a segment on him next week. And so again, he's definitely his name is continuing to resonate with NFL clubs, and same with Xavier Smith. And so, again, we are really excited about those guys' futures, and but really looking forward to seeing all of our seniors go out tomorrow and showcase their skills to NFL personnel. So, Again, pro day tomorrow, the second scrimmage on Saturday, and then we'll be right back at it again the following Tuesday for practice number 10. So with that being said, I'll obviously open the floor for questions, and then I will let you guys get on about your day. So 2:30.
We just got the box office to get everything set up for tickets yesterday, so I had to make sure they could get it set up before we put it out.
Last year, I think, did we? No, I don't think we didn't stream it. So maybe something to talk about between now and tomorrow. But no, we didn't. We did not have a plan to stream it live. So, but we'll look into that. Of course. Coach, good today? Feeling better? It's a long time away, so I doubt you'll wait that long, but Yes, so we are still actively recruiting for our 23 class. And so obviously we brought in the 13 mid-year enrollees, but we still have scholarships available for the fall as well. So all of the mid-year guys were obviously individuals who were eligible to transfer immediately, and they all came in this spring. There are some, particularly junior college student athletes, who have to graduate from their respective junior colleges before they can enroll. And so the individuals that we're recruiting now are either junior college transfers or four-year transfers who will enter the second wave of transfer portal, which starts actually April 15th. So the day of the spring game, April 15th, will start the second window of portal. That will go through May 31st. And so there will be some individuals who transfer from 4 years that will come in after the spring semester as well. But yes, we're still actively recruiting for 23.
I just want to, your question prompted me to think about something else. So we have invited the NCAA to campus. They'll be here. Brittany, is it April 25th and 26th? April 25th and 26th. So they'll meet with the president. They'll meet with the faculty athletic rep. They'll meet with me. They'll meet with our compliance staff. They'll meet with our academic staff. And they're going to review our current practices, policies, paperwork, etc., and give us feedback on where we have areas for improvement. So I know we had some previous issues with junior college transfers, four-year transfers, continuing education, but when you invite the NCAA in, they don't slap your wrist when you find stuff. It's when they got to come and seek things out where you really get in trouble. So we proactively invited them to campus to help us really sharpen our skills and our tools to make sure that we don't have last year happen all over again. But I know you didn't ask that, but your question made me think about it. And while I'm here, tennis today at 2 o'clock, softball at 5 o'clock, at home versus Mercer, both teams. Baseball's away. Baseball's at home versus Troy. Okay, baseball's at home versus Troy. What time? 5 o'clock. So triple header. No, these Willie questions. I'm not taking anymore.
Oh, yeah. NCAA? You said invite them in on Wednesday? Well, they can come 2:20 if they come on Wednesday. Oh, you will come here for fried chicken? Okay, thought you meant the They had to say run those things by him first, Dr. Walker, before you start volunteering the police to come to 220. I don't know if you want to invite the police to 220 Club, Dr. Walker. Man. Do we incorporate the option play to our scheme, like the old school triple option, not in the traditional form. So it kind of the new age option. Most of our plays have multiple options, but it's not the old school dive pitch. Yeah, we don't. Yeah. It's not my background. Yeah, Eddie, that's Eddie's background. So when he draws up those plays for me, we might sprinkle in a couple here and there. But you'll see some new wrinkles for us this year. Won't see them in the spring game. Obviously, we'll keep those under wraps, but we'll have some new wrinkles for our competition coming this fall. Musa will pull it when the defensive end makes him pull it. So yeah. So so we're gonna hand the ball off when it's supposed to be handed off, and we'll pull it when it's supposed to be pulled, and we'll throw it when it should be thrown. So that's his decision making is obviously important on every play. Yeah. Xavier Smith won the MVP for the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Yes, he was the offensive MVP. Yep, that prompted my idea again. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it.
No. One more thing. So I saw Xavier Smith when I went to walked through the weight room, get the guys, fist bumps, whatever, when I have time to get through there. And he was had just finished working out. So I asked him to come back and autograph some mini footballs. So in about a month, a little less than a month, we have FAMU Day of Giving. And they've asked each college department in school to think of creative ways to get people to give. So I haven't rolled out with the giving. It might be something for the first person who gives electronically, the person who gives the most. I haven't thought through it yet, but he has autographed some mini official FAMU footballs that we'll be using for FAMU Day of Giving to raise money for athletics.
All right. And also the date with Eddie too, right? Isn't that one of the date with Eddie Jackson? No. With an autograph. Trying to save Miss Jerry a night, good night. All right, last question. I gotta head out. So, any other football questions? Yes, sir. Competition for the quarterbacks, from the quarterbacks. So right now we obviously have 5 going through practice. So right now Jeremy and Junior are taking the bulk of the first team reps. And then we're splitting the second team reps between Ja'Cory Jordan, Trey Fisher, and DJ Boney. So they all played about the same number of reps in the scrimmage this past Saturday, and that'll be the plan again this weekend. And but right now, Jeremy and Junior are kind of ahead of the other 3. And but Trey Fisher is really closing a lot of ground. He's a very smart football player, and obviously coach's son, but he has a little moxie about him. Now, he's about Eddie Jackson size, so he ain't gonna wow you walking into the room. But just like Eddie, he's savvy. He got some little moxie to him. So I got some St. Pete, the Little League St. Pete highlights from back in the day on Eddie, and he was a tough cookie. Vaughn has a picture of somebody I can't say by name because we hadn't signed his scholarship yet, but I'll let y'all deduce what that means from that picture that he just put up there. So got compliance here, Vaughn. You try to get me in trouble. How's the offensive line? That's a great question. They're coming along. So they're coming along. Still got some work to do as far as just communicating. That's the biggest thing with those guys, just being able to communicate effectively, because like we have an old saying in football that if we're all wrong, we're all right. Right. And so if whoever has to start the call and it echoes all the way down the line, if we're all on the same page, even if I make the wrong call and we're working to this person and the next group is working to that person, at least we know everybody's going to be blocked, and we may have one guy cut from. But we can't have half working this way, another half going that way, and we leave the nose guard unblocked, right? And so we just got to communicate better up front, make sure that everybody echoes that call all the way down. So if it starts with the left tackle, it's got to go all the way down to the right tackle. And even if the tight end's involved, he's got to be a part of that call as well. So just getting those guys to talk right now, that's the biggest thing. They don't like to talk. You heard Xavier when he came up here, and our generation don't talk. They text. That's all they do. Right? So if we had devices where we can text, we'd be great communicating up front. Maybe something to look into. They decide we can get some technology that they can fast text, but they got to open their mouths and talk. And right now they're struggling. Like they're real quiet. They'll make a call, but I'm talking to the guy beside me. If you're not talking to him, you got to talk to all 5 or all 6, not just the one beside you, because your combination talks to those 2. But your combination tells the next 2 guys who their combination, who their combo goes to, and all the way down the line. So we just got to do a better job of that. But they're coming along. I think we'll have a much better unit this year than in years past. That is the plan is for all of the guys to be here for summer school. And so that's something that obviously AD Sykes and I will visit on in the coming weeks. But the plan is to have everyone here in the summer. And if we can do that, we can continue to go to class first and foremost, get ahead academically, get some guys caught up academically who may be behind, and then also give us a chance as coaches to meet with them and watch film and get ahead of schedule. So the plan is to have the entire team here for summer school, and obviously we'll have a plan for that. All right, and Coach, you need some help getting out? All right, well, I'm gonna let you take this, AD Sykes. I got to run.
Unless Dr. Walker got it for me. You might have this one for me. Did you update the group on the Board of Governors, what they voted on yesterday? Because you were there. So about athletics. So they voted yesterday that in the state of Florida now we can use overages and auxiliary funds to support athletics. So that is something that has been other institutions in our conference have been able to do. We have been prohibited from doing because of state of Florida regulations. Now, that doesn't mean we get it automatically. So I have to work with the president and the board of trustees and the Student Government Association and just a number of different people. But we now have, as approved by the Board of Governors, flexibility if there are overages and funds for them to be able to be used to support athletics. So that's why I was late. I was at Board of Governors meetings, but that is my Florida Board of Governors update for the 220 Club.
I'll end on a quick story. Oh, 7? I'm sorry. I'll do my story. Oh, what do you prefer? Yeah, I do.
Thank you. Hello, everyone that I haven't had an opportunity to speak with. Again, as in church, the doors are open, but the books are open for Rattler Boosters membership. Okay? You pay now, and your financial all the way up to June 30, 2024. Okay, so you get a few extra months when you renew your membership now. I want to thank you all because in the last 30 days, the Rattler Boosters have spent close to $20,000 with the athletic department, $7,500 to go for the cooling station. That's 50% of that cost. We also sent almost $9,800, and we assigned this to women's track. So it's a couple machines and about four different machines and things that they're gonna need for their for getting the team ready for the conference championship and for them to qualify for the NCAA regionals. So the track coach is very happy with that. And also we contribute our $2,500 to Student Athlete Day. So I thank you for your contributions. I just want to let you know where your money was going. Now, I also want to congratulate the bowling team. They finished third, as been stated earlier, and that they lost to the eventual champ, Prairie View. So we did a great showing there, and want to congratulate Coach Brown and her husband, Al. They've been here for 11 years, and they did a great job with our bowling team. I'm sure Breon will get the very capable replacement in this first task of hiring coaches. Our tennis team, they swept Southern. We're in first place in the Eastern Division with a 7-0 mark. There's a tennis match. Today is match day at 2 o'clock at the Gibson's Tennis Complex. And we're playing Mercer today. Softball, we ran into a little tough. We lost 2 out of 3 games to Alabama State this past weekend. And we're playing this afternoon, and they are going to be playing, who is it I have here? Mercer. Going to be playing Mercer at 2 o'clock. No, I'm sorry, 5 o'clock. Yeah. Jamaica, no, he's a baseball player. This weekend, the softball will be playing at home, and we're going to play Mississippi Valley starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Currently, our softball team is in 3rd place in the Eastern Division with a 5-4 mark. Our women and men track team will be competing at the Pepsi Florida Relays in Gainesville this weekend. We had a women track player, Laureen Hall. She finished 4th overall in the 200-meter dash over at FSU last weekend in the FSU relays. She was also selected as the Women Track Athlete of the Week for the SWAC conference. And also we had DeJohn Clark. He came in 3rd in the 200-meter dash with a 21.45. And he was selected as an outstanding track player for the week, athlete for the week with SWAC. Now, the baseball team, currently, we're in 1st place with a 6-0 mark. We will be playing this afternoon against Troy University, and that's a 5 o'clock start. We had Jamaica, I think it is spelled Bastardo, Bastado. I'm going to take a shot at it. Bastado. Michael, he was the hitter of the week. If you got a chance or read about the baseball exploits this weekend, we had a lot of home runs, back-to-back home runs on a couple occasions. And Bastado hit 4 home runs. He batted in at 10 RBIs, and he had a 545 batting average for the weekend. So one thing about it is we have a real good hitting baseball team this year. The biggest task probably is going to be this weekend. We travel down to Daytona Beach where we play that other team. Now that's a 3-game series. And I can venture to say that the winner of this series will probably going to be the first, or definitely probably with no lower than the 2nd team in our Eastern Division Conference. So if we could come out with a sweep down there, that would be a humongous feat. So I'm sure that's what Coach Hoop is shooting for, and that's what we're going to pray for. Okay. And that's it for the highlights. Oh, softball. We had a softball player that was she was a hitter of the week, and I'm trying to think of her name. Oh, Janae Mobley. She was the SWAC hitter of the week. So we're racking up SWAC. Our student athletes are racking up SWAC recognition, conference recognition, and we'd like to ask all of you all to go out and support our student athletes, and because we want them to have the best experience when they wear the orange and green and represent us. So my board member reminded me last week, and I'm going to end with this. Our website is FAMURattlerboosters.com. Again, FAMURattlerboosters.com. That's where you go and join the Rattler Boosters. There are 3 levels, really 4, because there's a $50 student level. And when you mentioned Xavier Smith was our first student athlete, or I guess you can say Xavier was the first student to join the Rattler Booster student as a student with the Rattler Boosters. There's a $50 student level. There's a $100 regular annual level. There's a $300 annual level, which we call Venom. And then there's a $750 lifetime membership level. So I urge you to go to our website, again, FAMURattlerboosters.com, and become members. Thank you for all that you do for our student athletes. And Breon, I've got to get your number, because you asked the same question I asked. Why all that space we got on the football field and we don't have a single sign? And why do we give all these field passes to people that's going to be blocking them signs and we put down there because we want them to read them? Okay, thanks everybody.
A quick story back in history. When I was a director of sports information, I was fortunate enough to be in on the last few years that Jake Gaither had a coaching clinic. And he brought the top coaches in the country here, Bear Bryant, Woody Hayes, the big boys. And Jake had just written a book called The Split T, where he spread out his linemen wider than normal. And Bear Bryant stood up and said, Jake, that ain't gonna work. Too much width in there. You never make that work. My boys would run all day. And Jake said, well, in that case, maybe you ought to put me on your schedule. So Bear Bryant never did put him on the schedule though. But that was one of the, I became director of sports information about 3 months after graduation. So here I was hanging out with Woody Hayes and Bear Bryant and Jake Gaither. I think they recognized that if I had played for them, okay, same time next week, same place.